Hello, my dear Aries. This is Nadia, and today I wanted to do entertaining video about summaring of 2023, how it was like for you, what was important, what not. So let's take a look what the spirits will tell you about this past year and see how this year was like for you. I'll tell you this year was pretty busy for you, and maybe in some way you were feeling like you're closed in a circle and you're running around and just doing the same thing over and over again, and there's no way out of there. Maybe you had like a hectic schedule, busy schedule, had to do a lot of things at the same time, trying to do everything at the same time and finish deadline, and you just feel like you've been running like a squirrel in the circle. On the other hand, this also could mean that some situations were repeating itself, like you were trying to maybe move on in your life. Maybe you were trying to do some things different. Maybe you were trying to get out of the situations where you've been like repeatedly at the same time, but then you found yourself actually going back to the same situation. It kind of like repeated, and there was no escape and no way out of there. Maybe you were trying to find another person in your life, or were you trying to get another relationship, for example, and then you do find another relationship, and then it turns out that the person behaves the same way as the other one was, and you kind of like find yourself at the same situation, and nothing kind of like changed for you. In other ways, maybe people from the past were coming back in your life, and you were thinking maybe this time is gonna be different, maybe this time is gonna be better, maybe this time is gonna be like you want, or maybe they learned a lesson, and you let them back into your life, and then you realize it's actually the same thing, and you have to kind of repeat this cycle again with these people. Like you were thinking maybe a little break would do it, and they will learn their lesson, it will teach them, and then when you accept them back in your life, you realize it's the same thing and nothing has changed, and it almost like made you feel like you were repeating the life once again. You're going through exactly the same experience and life lesson. It could also mean that you haven't learned the life lesson as it's supposed to be, if you're still finding yourself in the same situation over and over again. How this changed you? You know what? I will tell you that actually you were able to, at this time, think about yourself, be maybe more egocentric about your goals. And this time you said to yourself, you know what? I'm gonna think only about what I need, what I want, and what is valuable for me. And you were trying to break through from that. You were trying to break through, get over, get away, and that could also make you, push through some things maybe in a forced way. Like things were not easy, things were not smooth, and the road were absolutely made of obstacles and difficulties, and maybe some arguments and fights and conflicts on the way, but this still didn't stop you, and you kind of had to like forcefully push it through, get through that no matter what, because if you will stop right now, then you will not get anywhere, and you will not get what you want. That's why you actually were, moving fast and not looking back. Even if that means maybe hurting people along the way, maybe being a little bit egocentric in a way, and you realize that you're on your own. You don't really felt like or needed maybe you didn't really feel like a big support from other people, or that other people were doing the things that you want to do, or were on the same page with you. That's why you felt like you're actually on your own, and you have to do it on your own. If you will not do it, then nobody else will. That's why you had to push it through and just try to balance all the bad things and good things at the same time. Maybe you were trying to focus, and you've been actually trying to will be the right way to say focus on your goals, because of course if you will try to do many things at the same time, you will never get to this one destination you're trying to get. So you learned how to be unbreakable. You learn how to push through and get away and not look back. Just move forward, go forward, no matter what it takes. And that will not stop you, no matter what obstacles on your way, no matter what problems on your way. That will not stop you. You will keep on moving forward. You'll get this ball rolling. What is that important thing that you ignored during this year? The things that you ignored might be some decisions, not always very good decisions that you made for yourself. Maybe those decisions were more like in distractive way, that would take you down, drag you down, and will not let you move forward completely. Maybe there were some things, maybe some different kind of addictions you have. Maybe you like to find some shortcuts. If that's about maybe job, maybe you were trying to get position or get money, maybe not in always the honest way, or somebody actually were not very honest when offering you something. Maybe somebody promised you some good nice things and kind of like seduced you in their way, and you agreed, but then you found yourself in kind of like a trap where it's hard to get out of. So I would say maybe people were not very honest and sincere along the way, and you were more like trustworthy, but then eventually you found yourself in tie down position where it's hard to move out and hard to make your own decisions. And actually maybe you even agreed in the first place because it was very tempting for you. You followed your weaknesses and decided that you're gonna enjoy for a second. So at the moment it felt like you can enjoy, relax, and have it easy way or have it better way. But eventually it didn't end up to be such a good way because you were tied down, and the people around you were not that honest and trustworthy. And that was a hard way to get out of there. What was that important thing that you didn't notice at all? There was times where you had to make decision, but you couldn't do it because the situation maybe were not so clear. Maybe you didn't know how to move forward, and you didn't want to make a mistake and ruin everything you built so far. That's why you were holding yourself in such maybe in a way uncomfortable position. Maybe made you feel tense, and pressured, because it's like there are two choices, right? You have to make, and it's hard to make either choice because you don't know the consequences of that, because you didn't want to, again, to make the wrong move and just destroy and ruin everything. Maybe you didn't want a conflict, because this card shows me that there could be some conflict, and if you make moves forward, that could maybe ruin something and have to leave behind some other people, some other things, projects, job, work, whatsoever, and you didn't want to like leave behind the things that are important for you when you were not sure in the first place. So being unsure and uncertain was kind of the part that you didn't notice, but it kind of also maybe held you back a little bit, and made you like a pause, and not make any decisions and not make any steps forward and not actually moving forward in your life towards your achievements. What held you back in this year? You not always were ready to fight, and sometimes you felt like you need to step back, you need to withdraw, and just keep quiet and stabilize yourself and stabilize your life. Again, maybe there was things, I see that a lot of things were dragging you down. Maybe people were not very honest, you were tied down in a way, you couldn't always make the right decisions, or like your free decisions, and you felt like you were in the circle, and that would wind you down. That would also in a way take all your energy out, and eventually you'll feel you're not going anywhere, because this all situation takes a lot of energy, time, and you felt like maybe you don't always have best strategy and best plan to move forward, and you actually have to step back. And that what holding you back, that you were stepping back a lot, and maybe for a long time you were like trying. It could be also in a good way that you needed this time for yourself. You needed to strategize, you need to pre-plan, you need to think about better decision, how to make in the future towards some things. Because if you see that you're failing, it's not always the best way to go forward, right, and to push through. Sometimes it's good to just step back and think the best decision you can make. But that actually was the part that held you back. I guess maybe you was taking too much time and were not ready to move forward. Maybe it took you a little bit too much time to rejuvenate, to pull yourself together, to take yourself together, and just generally to be active. Like in some way, in some moments throughout the year, you're very passive, and not doing anything, and not moving anything around. Okay, and let's see the last card, and what actually you should be proud of. What something that make your heart proud of yourself, something you've achieved and you've done so well. Let's take a look. I will say that you avoided a lot of conflicts throughout this year. I can tell it was pretty difficult year in a way, a lot of pleasurable things, maybe not always best decisions that you made, but you actually was able to, get around all that, and you was getting around, I would say more like in a sneaky way. in a smart way. You were not always were very honest and straightforward too. But that actually made you, be more flexible in the situations where you don't have to always like fight until the end and until everybody stops talking to each other and until everything destroyed and ruined completely. You were definitely trying to avoid any destruction whatsoever. You were trying to avoid ruining maybe some of the relationship, maybe ruining some of the projects, and you were trying to be flexible and go around all that, and you not always were telling other people about your plans that you have for yourself. You kind of like kept it to yourself. So that made you also very smart and clever in some ways, because you used this in order to escape some of the problems. I guess you were avoiding problems, I would say, in a smart way, and that's how you learned it. Not always you would go straight forward and honestly and make like a conflict and try to distract everything. You were trying to avoid all of that so you can in a way keep the relationship going, keep the projects going, and at the same time you learned how to make your goals and dreams come true in kind of your way. Something like that. Okay, guys, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. If that resonated with you, hit that like button, and I really encourage you to subscribe for those who haven't done so you don't miss my next video. And that's it for today, and I wish everyone a very happy holidays, a lot of love and joy. Take care, guys, and I'll see you on the next ride.